The way real estate agents get paid has fundamentally changed. As of 2025, the old way of doing things is over, and a new era of negotiation has begun. And look, this isn't just some minor tweak, it's the biggest shift the industry has seen in decades, creating a whole new world of negotiation for anyone buying or selling a home. So today, we're breaking down exactly what these new rules mean for you, who really comes out on top, and most importantly, how you can navigate this change to your advantage. For as long as most of us can remember, paying real estate agents was something people just accepted. The system was straightforward. A seller would agree to a commission, usually around 5 or 6% of the sale price. That commission would then be advertised in the multiple listing service, the MLS, and would include an offer to pay the agent who brought in a buyer. When the house sold, the total commission came out of the seller's pocket and was split between the two agents' offices. So, while it seemed like the seller was footing the whole bill, that cost almost always baked into the home's price. In reality, the buyer was indirectly paying their agent's fee through their mortgage, often without a single direct conversation about what that agent was making. But that all changed. A series of landmark lawsuits leading to a massive settlement by the National Association of Realtors challenged this entire structure. The lawsuit successfully argued that advertising the buyer's agent commission on the MLS was an anti competitive and kept rates artificially high. The courts agreed, and just like that, the key mechanism that propped up the whole system was gone, forcing a fundamental change in how real estate deals get done. The new rules have thrown a lot of people into a state of confusion, and that's understandable. The questions that used to be answered automatically are now completely up in the air. Who pays for what? How much is all this going to cost me? For sellers, the big question is, am I still expected to pay for the buyer's agent? And if I don't, will anyone even show my house? It's a tough spot. You could potentially save thousands, but you might also risk your property sitting on the market. While some sellers are choosing not to offer compensation, most are still offering it as a strategic incentive. It's just no longer advertised on the MLS. For buyers, the anxiety is even more direct. They're asking, do I have to bring thousands of extra dollars to closing just to pay my agent? Before, this cost was practically invisible, rolled right into the loan. Now it's a real out of pocket expense that many people haven't budgeted for, which is a huge new hurdle, especially for first time home buyers. This uncertainty has turned every deal into a fresh negotiation where every dollar is on the table. And in this new environment, there will be people who come out ahead and people who get left behind. Those who understand the new rules of engagement will thrive, but those who don't, buyers, sellers, or agents, risk getting the short end of the stick. The game has changed, and not knowing the rules is more expensive than ever. So, with all this confusion, How does this new world actually work? The old system may have been shaken up, but a new one built on transparency and direct negotiation is taking its place. So let's break down the new rules of engagement so you can walk into any deal prepared. Rule number one, the buyer broker agreement is a must. This is probably the biggest change for home buyers. If you're working with a realtor, before they can show you a property, you must sign a written contract with them. This document, the buyer broker agreement, forces a critical conversation that almost never used to happen. It has to clearly state the services the agent will provide and exactly how much you'll pay for them, whether it's a percentage or a flat fee. It's all in writing, which is a massive win for you, the consumer. You know what you're paying from day one. Rule number two, the buyer's agent fee is now negotiated directly. You've probably heard the term decoupling commissions, and this is what it means. You, the buyer, are now contractually responsible for your agent's fee because you're the one signing the agreement. But here's the key part: how you pay for it is negotiable. While you could pay it in cash at closing, the more common solution is to have your agent negotiate for the seller to cover the fee as a seller concession or credit in your purchase offer. In fact, most sellers are still paying these fees. The negotiation just happens differently now. In some cases, you might be able to roll the cost into your mortgage, but you'll need to check with your lender first. Rule 3, the MLS is no longer a commission menu. Under the new rules, the field where buyer agent compensation was advertised on the MLS is gone. This is a huge deal because it was the central pillar of the old system. Removing it forces a direct negotiation over the commission instead of having everyone just accept a preset offer. This changes how sellers market their properties and ensures compensation is an active part of discussion in every deal. Rule number 4, everything is negotiable. But if it happens off MLS, just because sellers can't advertise a commission on the MLS doesn't mean they won't pay it. Many are still choosing to offer compensation to attract a wider pool of buyers for their home. This negotiation now happens entirely off the MLS, usually as a line item in the purchase contract itself. A buyer's offer might say, we'll pay $500,000 for the house, and the seller will provide a 2.5% credit at closing to cover our broker's fee. The commission is now a bargaining chip, just like the sales price or the closing date. If you're finding this breakdown helpful and you want to stay ahead of the curve in this new market, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We release new updates and strategies every week to help you master these changes and make the smartest moves. With any massive industry shift, some will adapt and thrive while others get left behind. Here's a look at who is best positioned to win in this new environment. The savvy, educated consumer. The ultimate winner is the buyer or seller who does their homework, For buyers, interviewing multiple agents and negotiating their fee directly can lead to big savings. You are now empowered to shop for representation based on value and cost. For sellers, you have more flexibility. You can make a strategic decision with your agent about whether offering a buyer agent commission makes sense for your home in your market, potentially saving you thousands. Consumers who treat this like the major financial transaction it is will come out on top. The winner, the high value real estate agent. Agents who can clearly prove their expertise will flourish. The days of just unlocking doors for a default payday are fading. The agents who succeed now are master negotiators and true local experts who can justify every dollar of their fee in a world full of complex negotiations. Real estate expertise is more valuable than ever. Who's at risk? The unprepared and unrepresented buyer. The greatest risk falls on the buyer who doesn't understand these changes. You could be blindsided by the need to pay your agent's fee at closing, which could kill the deal. Worse, some may be tempted to go it alone to save money. This is a huge risk. Going up against a professional listing agent without your own expert advocate is a good way to overpay or get stuck with really bad terms. At risk, the status quo agent. Agents who relied on the old automated system are in trouble. Those who can't adapt or clearly communicate their value will struggle to find clients. This industry is seeing a flight to quality, meaning the bar for success is much higher. Part-time agents without a deep commitment to their craft will likely get pushed out of the market. Okay, knowing the rules is one thing, using them, another. Here are some real strategies for both buyers and sellers. For buyers, first, interview at least 3 agents before you sign anything. Ask them directly, how do you get paid? What's your fee? And what exactly does it cover? Is that fee negotiable? Treat it like a business decision because that's what it is. Second, talk to your mortgage lender early on. Ask them how your agent's commission could be handled. Can it be financed? Can you use gift funds? Knowing your financial options from the start is critical. Finally, when you make an offer, remember the commission is a negotiating point. You can ask the seller for a credit to cover some or all of your agent's fee. In a hot market, that might make your offer a little less competitive, but in most situations, it's a completely reasonable request. For sellers, your first conversation should be with your listing agent about strategy. Analyze your local market conditions together. Is it so hot that you don't need to offer buyer agent compensation? Or is the market more balanced where offering a competitive commission is a smart marketing tool to get the most buyers in the door? And be ready to see requests for commission concessions in your offers. Don't take it personally. It's the new normal. Look at the whole offer, price, concessions, and other terms as a complete package. A full price offer that asks you to cover a 2.5% commission might be way better than a lower offer that asks for nothing. It all comes down to your net profit. The Great Real Estate Commission Reset of 2025 isn't a temporary disruption. It's a permanent shift in how the industry operates. We've moved from a one size fits all model to a fee for service world built on transparency and direct negotiation. The power has shifted more into the hands of consumers, but that power only works if you know how to use it. This is just the beginning. The market is still adjusting and new strategies will pop up. We'll be here tracking every development to make sure you're always ahead of the game. What are you seeing out there? Are sellers in your area still paying the buyer's agent fee? Let me know your experience in the comments below. And if you're trying to navigate this new world and need some expert guidance, there's a link in the description where you can book a one-on-one consultation with me to discuss any questions you have. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.